What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Filsinger Games Character Spotlight with Mike and Brock.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Brock, and tonight we're joined by Lieutenant Colonel Pete Beck.
Retired.
It still counts.
Yes, this still counts, true. Good evening, everybody. Good morning, whenever you're listening to this. Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Doing as good as being expected for a Monday afternoon.
Yeah. I got eaten alive by bugs this weekend. I look like I have leprosy. It's so bad.
I was in Texas over the weekend. It was hot.
Ugh.
Like nothing we've got here in Maryland. Yeah. It was just hot.
Gotta love this time of year with the heat. I'd rather be cold any day.
Yeah, I think so too. Yes, I've gotten over wanting to be hot all the time. That Southern California heat is gone.
I couldn't do it. I'm a big baby when it comes to the heat.
I spent 90% of the time indoors.
I'm a big baby when it comes to most things, but but tonight's characters are Invincible Krakan.
Sure, it's Kraken, not Kraken.
It's definitely Kraken.
If you say so. Still saying Kraken.
And Morpheus. But there's not a whole lot to discuss about these guys because this is the back of their cards.
Yeah.
Kraken is very topical right now, I hear.
Yeah. Yes. He is.
But
do you have yours handy, Mike?
Do you have it?
I don't have the new one.
I got mine here. There we go. Here's what he looks like in the year 21. Where's my glow? There we go. In 21 in the year 2139.
Well, this though is
the con exclusive LE.
Con exclusive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the back is different.
The back's different?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is the con exclusive LE that we put up for ops, and this one that Pete wasn't letting get out there to the wild just yet.
Nice. You're just gonna give that to me after the show.
Yeah. Lori might have an issue with that. Everybody's gonna. There are probably people that are disappointed in me, but I don't know.
Hey.
You can buy it at the next one.
Yes. It had to be done.
Yes.
At least for a year.
Yeah, like I said, just wait 6 months. I'm sure you'll get it in 6 months. There was a stack of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There were a few. So yes, there are some available.
They should be burned.
Breaking news.
Should be incinerated, destroyed,
and drive up the prices.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah.
After Brock gets
Todd,
one.
Mike, if you're listening, cut that stack in half and put it into a shredder.
I guess we can start with Kraken first.
All right, Kraken.
Kraken.
Yeah. 3 people,
three
pronunciations.
Three pronunciations.
He was focused so well earlier.
He's got a really big gun.
He does.
It's like Rob Liefeld drew the picture.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It is a product of the 90s.
Yeah. All you can say is that picture. He's got a really big gun and a distractor rating.
Yeah, you think if somebody was walking around the ring with that, it'd be at least a 9.
Yeah, something better than 6, right?
Yeah, but back then 6 wasn't too bad.
Yes, this is true. Yes,
there was only 1 7 in the game, and that belonged to
Reynard.
There's another. We can get. Here we go with pronunciations. We can make this. That could be our topic.
Yeah, I mean, even though that Reynard or Reynard, however you want to say it, had the 7, you would almost think that Kraken. There you go. Probably could have got that same 7, just because. But I mean, then again, he had a really good team, so he probably didn't need to interfere that much.
True.
So, yeah.
And this guy still looks like a threat without the gun.
Without the gun, yes, this is true. Yes.
Still looks like a threat here.
So I think was it just the Soldier of Fortune and Vigilante? Was that the only people he was managing at the time?
I'll have to check that out. I don't remember.
I think he might have had more. I think didn't he have Splatter with him as well?
He might have. So yeah.
Let me pull up the old wiki.
Like, when it comes to the official storylines, I kind of get lost on them.
I mean, this was definitely in the Hitman era, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So
Uh, Vigilante, Splatter, and Vigilante at the time. Oh, it's Soldier of Fortune. Soldier of
Soldier
Fortune.
Fortune.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So
he had three. So yeah.
Cool.
yeah, he did amazingly well for me. Like 8 GWF tag titles.
You mean managing with this card? Okay,
managing.
Yeah.
With this card. Now that all came from one tag team.
Yeah, well, they were really good.
Yeah.
2 Intergalaxian singles, 1 Galaxian, 2 Intergalaxian tag, and a GWF TV title. That's what he managed to get.
It's not bad.
No. And he's still managing to this day.
No, he's an active wrestler.
Well, both. He was asleep for 20 years. But
he was.
He's back, yes. So,
grew his hair out.
At least the chops.
Became a ginger.
He just stopped dyeing it. We'll say that, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm sure I used him as a manager at that time. Well, I know I did. And so he would have been there with Soldier and Vigilante for sure. And I know that they were awesome in my fit. They were multiple time Galaxy champion, which was the top tag team title in my fit. I don't think he ever really took Splatter anywhere. I think just Splatter was Splatter, and I don't think he cared about titles. It was just what kind of havoc can I cause.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if anything, he was just there. If Splatter went crazy, he just joined in on the fun.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, he did well with the Hitman. His Hitman was a revolving door for me. Like at one point, he even had Grunge and Metalhead in there. That's where the Intergalaxian tags came from, along with Splatter. So he had a revolving door. Currently, I think he hung up his managing for me right now.
Well, the next card that he had was the infamous washing machine one, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm sure that he was around until then for me. But I don't even know if I let him get near ringside when he had that big old neck brace that was as big as his whole body.
Yes. His distractor rating went all the way down to 4 too.
Yeah.
Like why even have him there?
Yeah. Go away.
I have no idea about this card.
Oh, hold on a
you will
second.
someday.
Hold on. Let me see if I can share the screen here.
I don't even know what year that is.
Let's see.
Maybe that was an SE even. It might have been. We'll see.
It was an SE. There it is.
Yeah, it was especially SE. So yeah. Yeah. He went from this badass dude carrying his big ass gun to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And distractor. How do you get a distractor 4?
Yeah. He couldn't move.
Is he in a wheelchair or something?
Hence the washing machine look. I don't know.
Yeah, you just got to feel bad for the guy at this point.
Yeah. You're almost like, just go away.
Yeah.
Why are you still here?
You proved your point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're talking about there, Mike.
It's my
Yeah.
first time seeing that.
You probably own it.
No,
No,
No?
sure. It's a special edition, so I don't know. I know I have it, but yeah,
I hope I have it. I'll have
yeah.
to double check.
I'm discovering that I didn't get all, even though I've been to every GalacticCon, for some reason I was skipped a couple times on the cards.
It's just we're always like just strolling in on your own time.
Yeah, it's your fault.
That's right. Yeah.
And they don't like you.
I don't have the Akuma, and that's the one that bothers me.
Which one?
The
The original?
2021.
The color one.
Oh,
Oh,
the color one. Yeah. Well,
And that was from the from what do you call it? One of the like when there
was the
was no con.
yeah, that's the only
yes.
virtual one.
So
Yeah.
that Mike or Todd never shipped it to me.
Ah,
I know, all the way to Canada.
it was under quarantine. Couldn't cross
Yeah,
the border.
he had a mask though.
Yeah. Uh,
So we can't really. Did they ever give him a back on his cards?
for a manager, no, not his manager cards had backs.
Well, if I was going to power creep him, I'd give him a back.
Give the back. Yes, that would be. Yeah.
I'll just make his distractor rating an 8. Keep it
I
simple.
don't know, like I said, you could have some fun putting a back, some distractor or some manager tactics with that gun.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, I mean that you could really like just it could be really neat coming up with some stuff for that one.
Big stun gun.
Yeah, yeah. Or is it a stun gun?
Yeah. Just straight up murders people.
Yeah. The thing's got this huge ass cannon on it, and then it's got a bayonet sticking out the end of it
Yeah.
too. That's the great part. So
That doesn't even look
yeah,
like it can be used because it doesn't
yeah,
protrude.
because it's not bigger than the barrel.
Maybe it's
It must
retractable.
attach. Yeah. That's some big old bullets too.
If you roll
They-
snake eyes, you're dead.
yeah. Those are big bullets, but not as big as the barrel still.
Right? What does it actually shoot?
I wouldn't know.
Where do those bullets come out of?
Where do they go in?
They're going through it somewhere.
Yeah.
This is great.
I don't think
Butcher.
Larry Snelly owned or fired a gun.
Yeah. Hey, Butcher, if you're watching, you gotta explain the capabilities of that gun.
Yeah. And it's got a clip underneath too.
Yeah, yes. So yes.
It fires
it's a
any
belt-fed-
possible round you can think of. Rockets.
It's a belt-fed gun with a clip somehow.
Yes. But it looks bad. I'm
It
telling
does.
you.
It does.
Yeah.
It would distract me.
Yes, it's intimidating.
It's like Larry Snelly grabbed every Rob Liefeld comic book, looked it up, and went, "Oh, this is how you draw guns," and then put them all into one gun.
It was 1993, so that was at the height of that Image Comics boom. X-Force and all that too. So I can see where the influence came from.
I'm thinking Pete. Oh, I was saying, I think Pete might have froze there for a minute.
So did you, but it's okay. I think we're all together now.
Good.
Yeah.
So we can pop over to Morpheus,
There he is.
the man in the tux.
Very dapper and
Looks good.
yeah.
There we go. There's a focus.
Now, for a pimp cane, that's a pretty large handle, though.
Isn't it?
I thought it was a crystal ball.
It's crystal something.
Yeah.
Like that can't. I can palm a basketball, and that'd be like, yeah, I'm just.
It had to weigh like 300 pounds, depending on what it was made out of. To me, though, Morpheus was a guy who didn't really seem like he would really get involved. Even if he was at ringside, I don't think he would really lower himself to interfere in a match.
No, I gave him a distractor, but not an outside interference.
Hmm.
Sure. Yeah,
And
I think if I did, because he was only managing what Skinhead and Prodigy at the time for Complex.
Chaos and Matt,
Oh, Chaos and
all them. He was managing the Citadel.
Janice, yeah, the Citadel. Um, he would just come and stand there. I mean, it was just a presence that was there. He didn't have to do
Yeah,
anything.
Right.
yeah. That's why I used him. He just showed up, and it was a distractor. I didn't use any outside interference because I felt he didn't need to, or they didn't want him to.
Yeah.
Yes, I could see that. I'm sure that's how I did it too, where he was just if he was there, he might think of doing something, but he probably thought his team was good enough that he didn't have to, and hence
Hmm.
probably why the low distractor ratings. So
Right. Makes total sense to me.
And now, and he's another manager who captured quite a few titles, but it's because of the guys he was managing.
Right.
yeah,
Like one GWF TV title, which is in, but 7 heavyweight titles. They all belong to Chaos. 2 Intergalaxian titles. 2 GWF tag titles. One was Superiority Complex, and one was Chaos and Darkos, because they won a tournament where
so
everybody was thrown together in a random partner.
went off on your own there, huh, Mike? Yeah,
And then the Intergalaxian tag title 3 times was Superiority Complex.
sure.
But I remember with
Yeah, I
the
know that. Go ahead.
okay, I do remember with the GWF tag, Chaos and Darkos, they defended it 5 times, and on the 5th defense, I was like, Chaos and Morpheus were just like, no, we're done, and they just got up and left, and Darkos is in the ring by himself and gets his ass kicked, and they lose the title, and they didn't, he didn't care
Poor Darkos.
because he was like, why am I having a tag title with this guy?
I could see that. I could definitely see that air of attitude where they're just like, yeah, we don't need to be in here with this guy.
Hmm.
We're done.
We can go
Attitude.
win this ourselves later.
Yes, yes. Or I can just hold it by myself as it is, anyways. So
Hmm.
yes.
Right.
Well, that's pretty much what it was. Every so often he'd tag in Darkos on level 2. Darkos has that good level 2 offense,
Yes.
and then Chaos would come in and just clean house.
Yeah, I guess for me the story of bringing Morpheus in as the other father of the Federation was probably more interesting
Hmm.
than necessarily anything that he was going to do outside the ring. To me, like I said, it was just that air of arrogance or just having him there was enough for his teams, and if he even got involved in it, which honestly I couldn't tell you if he ever did. Um, uh, that he was just there, and it was just something to kind of put pause in the FDF or the champions, whichever team it was that Omega was managing at the time. So
Yeah, I think if I did have him interfere, it would have been like a title match where he was defending against Alpha Force just to up the ante. He never does it
sure,
except for.
Yeah. Or complete desperation.
Yep. Help Chaos hold on to that title.
Hmm. With his team, there's really very little desperation at all. There
there's
we
the new
go.
star. See, there's the kid. This is Opal.
Hi,
So,
Opal.
And but yeah, I know it's when you have 2 managers, it's not can be a tough week to do, but every so often, you have a slow week. But managers do add stuff to the game.
Hmm.
oh
If
yeah,
I look, almost all the people with either A long runs or title holders almost all of them have a manager because you can get up to 4 more chances in your match.
Sure.
So for some people, they are a necessary evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed them. Like I said, I depending upon who they were, you can kind of get a feel for, like I said, how they did things. But I think both of these two really didn't have to do much because the people they were managing,
Yeah,
were awesome. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it just uh, they had the skills that they didn't necessarily need a manager there, but just in case they got one. So
but you think Matador had Chaos had 3 finishers, so that's pretty solid. But
yeah,
after that, Matador had the worst finisher at +3.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. What a
yep,
bum.
yeah. And he's probably the best athlete out of them all.
It's true.
We can slide over to our topic of GalacitCon.
Waterloo, 2023, Waterloo, Iowa.
Headed south for me.
West and north.
I kept bugging people because I kept calling Iowa the South. People are like, Iowa is not the South.
To you, everything is the South.
Yeah.
It's true.
Lori says that too. She says all Americans are Yankees, and I'm like, no, that is not true. We are not everyone's a Yank down here. Just be careful, you're gonna have below the Mason-Dixon line.
Just like what is it? The Game of Thrones when the wildlings, when the other side of the wall, they're calling it the South. And they're like, we're the
Yes.
North.
Yeah.
King of the North.
So, Mike, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
So yeah. I didn't get there till Friday, so I actually made it a family trip out of it. My daughter lives in just outside of St. Louis on the Illinois side. She stayed down there after we were stationed in Illinois at Scott Air Force Base. So she decided to stay down there. She met a young man, and they're now married. Um, so I got to hang out with them on Thursday after I got there, and then I took the long 5 hour drive. Long, comparable to Mike, is not long,
Yeah.
but yeah. So to get up there on Friday, uh, in time to start all the fun festivities of all the matches Friday morning, like at 10 o'clock. I didn't know if I was going to get there, but um, I was able to, and uh, got there, and it was kind of it was neat because we it was at the convention center, and there were already some of the legends walking around. Rock Riddle was there, all suited up already. I was like, well, it's kind of early for him to be suited up. Uh, but he was there, and there was somebody else. Gosh darn it, who was it he was with? I can't remember who he was with. And but yeah, it was cool. We got to sit there, get ready to, rolled out the first tournament, which of course I did not win because there's no character online. There's no characters available. I just don't win. Um, um, but yeah, it was pretty cool getting there on Friday and seeing everybody. Butcher and I roomed together, so me and Butcher split a hotel room, um, and got to hang out with everybody, which is the hanging out part. I think is probably more important now to a lot of us than the playing part, because I mean,
Oh
get
yeah.
a chance to see everybody. What is it really once a year in person, and
Yeah.
and then sometimes like this.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, ran immediately across Todd and Mike and Mike's little clan, Mike Molesky's clan of all the kids. Got to meet his wife finally. It was the first time I think I met his wife. And uh, but yeah, played a few rounds. Lost. Oh, I had the what's his name, the showstopper. That was who I got when I first saw him. I said, "Is this Vanity's son?" That's what I thought. I was like, "Are we going back to Vanity?" And the card's pretty cool. Card's neat. Some of the mechanics that he has with his finishers is neat. I didn't get to use either one, but it was still still pretty cool. So. And then
Yeah,
Friday night,
the matches.
Mike showed up. So
Friday night, I drove 13 and a half hours in one shot. We stopped a couple times for, bathroom breaks and a meal. And I got there, dropped the wife off at the hotel so she could sleep. I drove down. I saw Todd at the table, and he was beside Ross Hart. And so I had a about a 10-minute conversation with Ross, and we talked about Smith, and I get trained by him. And then because I didn't want to walk around because matches were going on, so I waited till intermission, and that's when I walked over and I saw Eric Kanicki and TK and
TK.
Butcher. And I come up, I'm like, hey, it's the Roly Poly crew. And Butcher's like, you don't even say hello, you just insult us.
What a jerk.
And then Pete come over, and I think you were with Billy.
Yeah.
And then talked to you guys for a bit. And then I walked around and I saw Tommy Rich. So I had seen Tony Gurria walk by, and he was just talking to everybody. And I saw Tommy Rich, and he was just walking. I'm like, hey, Mr. Rich. And he stops to me for a second. He goes, hey, you're a big fella. And we talked, and I don't even remember what we said. And I said, I'm like, yeah, I'm with the GWF guys. He goes, oh, the game. And I'm like, yep. And then he walked off because he was getting ready to go in the ring for pictures.
He had his match by then, yeah. So he was in the match just before that, I think. Yeah.
And then I went over to talk to Tim. And on my way to Tim, I ran into Barry Walsh and Jared.
Yep.
And then I finally tracked Tim down, and he was with Lord Zoltan.
Yep.
Brock's favorite wrestler.
He's the best.
And talked to Tim for a bit, and then the matches started up. So I sat with you guys for the rest of the card.
Yep.
And then we went over to Doughy Joey's.
Joey's.
For some pizza. And we were with Milton and some other guy. I'm trying to remember his name.
I can see him.
He's a Legends guy. He doesn't play the GWF.
Oh, well, Nick was there too.
Nick joined us after.
Yeah, Nick joined us after. Oh, Andy was at the table, wasn't he? Sinestro 24. I think he was there. Andy.
Okay, that was Andy.
Yeah,
okay.
That was Andy.
And we did a lot of baseball talk.
Yeah, we talked a lot of baseball.
And then Andy left, and Tim Dalton joined us.
Yep.
Because the Legends guys went upstairs, and Tim doesn't do stairs.
Or if he does, they're slow. Very.
Yeah. So we did that, and then we went back to the bar. And more of the guys were drinking there, and I ended up getting back to the hotel like 2:30. I woke up at 6 or 7.
Nice.
Did the breakfast thing and started it all over again because I had to be there early for the Canada Cup to get it all going.
Yes.
Because it was on a Saturday and not a Sunday.
Yeah, it was I think it was about 2:00 when I went upstairs too. So Butcher was already out.
Yeah, because we were one of the last guys left.
Yeah.
We were talking, and Haku walked by. Remember, he walked by.
Yep.
Tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey," he goes, "Hey, brother, excuse me." Walked past him, like, I should have sold it and thrown myself.
Yeah, it should have been flying. Yeah.
And then the next day we did Canada Cup. There was some more tournaments going on, but like I said, I do the Canada Cup. After that, that's pretty much the only tournament I go in because, like you, after when I've been to how many of these have been like 30 something.
Yeah.
I like talking to the guys. It's the one time of the year you can hang out with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's what I missed.
Yep. and just chatting. I spent a lot of time this year talking with Jared. Talked a little bit with Billy, you, Kevin, Sam. A lot of the regulars.
Yeah, that one I didn't even know who he was, but it was Matt. It was his name, Matt and Mark, the brothers. Parker
He had a
Dirks.
Guy Gardner tattoo. The one guy, Matt.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it was cool. Then there were some new guys there. A guy named Kyle, who I had talked to before. Kyle, I can't remember his last name.
And a guy named Eric, I spent a lot of time talking to.
Yeah.
New guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually really cool, and a chance to see some of those Midwest guys who came this year, like Eric, and well, yeah, Jared came up from Texas, and of course, everybody was talking to him about the game or what he was doing with the programming of the WWE game that he's working on. So, yeah. But, yeah, it was good. Like I said, it's always fun. It was well. What was really funny was I was talking with Stu because he was there, Stu Lowry and Corey, and we were trying to figure out how long it had been since we've seen each other in person, and it's been like 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, has it really been that long? But yeah, it had been like 20 years since since we had all been at the same event. So
yeah, because Stu, he hadn't been in ages, and Corey, I can't remember the last time.
Yeah.
I think Corey was still in high school the last time I saw him.
It's possible.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it broke up pretty early on Saturday because everybody had to get ready for the dinner.
Yeah.
And so I went down to some hamburger place to go grab something to eat earlier in the day.
Which was fantastic.
That big head
place
burger
was good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And because I remember I come back and I said, yeah, I went to this place, Big Head Burger, and Matt just turns around and goes, oh yeah.
Yeah, yes. And because I was like, well, okay, there's my dinner tonight. That's literally what I thought.
And then everybody left, and I'm like, my wife wasn't feeling well, so she had come to talk to Tim, and she was hanging out with Tim. They talked for like 4 hours at the con, and they had to come get Tim. Tim's like, goes to my wife, he goes, I'll just ignore those guys and I'll stay here with you. they know what they're talking about. And she's like, no, go. So so Tim went, and so I'm just sitting on the step. I'm like, I don't want to give my wife 20 minutes a nap. I'm like, I'll just kind of wander around the downtown core. And Jared, like, hey, you want to go get a drink? So we went there. We went back up to his hotel room, and he made a GWF belt last year, and this year he made the Intergalaxian title. Did you see that?
Yes.
Very nice. Well done belts.
Yes. Like real, like we're not talking like little paper ones. It's the no kidding.
Yeah.
Real belt that he had
15
made.
pounds of gold belt.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And but when we were sitting there, in comes Meng, Tommy Rich, and Jimmy Valiant. But it was funny because when I was going to get the burger, I'm coming back. Tommy Rich is on the other side of the crosswalk. We're waiting to cross. He was going to Big Head Burger. And he sees me, he goes, hey, big man. And then I see him again later on in the and they're all having drinks, and they're talking about getting ready to go. And then we go home. My wife picks me up. I go back. We go to Olive Garden because we don't have Olive Gardens in Canada. And then I come back to the bar, and I see.
Yep.
I see Pete sitting in the foyer of the lobby of the hotel. So I sit there. We're talking, and Jared comes down like 2 minutes after, and all three of us are just chatting away. And we went, I wonder what time it lets out. And just then we see Tommy Rich walk by. And I go, hey, Tommy. I'm like, when does the ceremony end? He goes, oh man, I was just gonna ask you that.
Ask you guys. How do we know? Like, you should be part of this, right?
I guess he ditched everybody.
Yeah, he didn't go.
And then we were back at the bar until I left at 1:30.
Yeah, I think it was about that time, around 1 o'clock. I think is when I went up, 1:30. So yeah, because I had a no Sunday, no, because Sunday I stayed there. I stayed till things was over on Sunday. But yeah, it was I had to drive back that night, that afternoon. But yeah, no, had breakfast on Sunday. Butcher and I were walking down at the same time, and it was Jimmy Valiant, and I said something, and Butcher didn't say anything, and Johnny Valiant goes, "Are you a ventriloquist?" He looks at me. Butcher's like, "What?" Because he goes, "I swear to God, I didn't see your lips move, but I just heard sound." It was absolutely hilarious. We were dying. I was like, "Yeah, no." I said, "It'd be a fun trick to do, but no, I'm not one."
Nice.
Yeah, it was neat. Like, if they held it in Iowa again, I don't know if I'd drive the 13 and a half hours. Again, it was just really out of the way, but it was neat because some of these guys made themselves very accessible.
Oh yeah,
Like Tommy Rich, Jimmy Valiant, Haku, um, Devon Dudley.
yeah.
They
I
were
rode the
in that
elevator with
bar.
Devon like 5 times.
Yeah, and Devon is much shorter than I thought he would be.
Yes, yeah. He's not very tall.
Like 5'10" at most.
Yeah. He was wearing the ring all weekend, though. Did you see the big ring he had on? His Hall of Fame ring?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he had the Hall of Fame ring on.
And
So,
yeah, it was neat to see those. And every so often, the other guys would pop in, like
yeah.
Tony Gurria and JBL walked in, say hi to the guys.
JBL was the only guy that I kind of went, "Oh, yeah, he is tall," because
Yeah,
everybody else was like shorter
he's
than
about
me.
6'3", I think.
Yeah,
He was still
when he
shorter than
walked
me.
by, when I walked by, I was like, "Yeah, okay, he's tall."
Yeah,
So
he's a big dude. Yeah, so JBL was probably, I think, one of the taller guys there for the Legends. And Tony Gurria was
yeah,
surprising. I didn't realize how tall he was.
yeah. I rode an elevator with Tony Gurria as well. I was like, "Hey," he had his little Kiwi New Zealand feather, whatever that is, on his shirt. That was easy to identify him. So yeah,
That's cool.
but, yeah, yeah.
And then on Sunday, we headed off to the Dan Gable Museum. Which, being a big amateur guy, I wanted to see that just as much as you know, the pro
Professional
wing,
side.
which was just
Yeah.
kind of like one small room.
Here's the pro spot. Here's the pro spot. Here's everything else.
So it was neat. Like I took pictures, of all the plaques and everything of the guys inducted. But just going around, I was thinking of getting a shirt, but the quality of the t-shirts just wasn't there for me. They were if I can hold up a shirt and see through it, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I guess they don't get their t-shirts from TKO.com.
Nope.
TKO store.
That's TEKO.
Yeah,
And
what's neat is even if you're not into amateur wrestling, and I'm not a big into amateur type stuff, you can learn a lot there. I mean, there, the displays and everything, just the lineage that it talks about with all the different guys that they've got on display. It's pretty cool. So even if you're not into the amateur side, you're just going, to see the professional wing. Um, there's still, you could lose yourself for a few hours in that place, seeing everything if you really want to. So it's worth the trip
if you're in
to Waterloo if you're a wrestling fan. So
if you're in Waterloo, it's definitely
if you're in Iowa, yeah. So yeah, yeah. Going just for it'd probably be a difficult sell to go to Waterloo just just for that. But if you're an hour or so outside of Waterloo and you got an afternoon to kill,
yeah.
then yeah, definitely, yeah, it's worth it. So yeah,
And I did find out the one bar we were drinking at the hotel has Gable beer. So
yes,
every time you order the Gable beer, $1 from that goes to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I had two of them. I had two of those. I'm not a big beer drinker. I'd rather drink bourbon, but I had a couple of them the first night that we were down there. Was it Friday night? So yeah, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was a good beer.
Yeah, I had a few. It wasn't an IPA, so if it was, I'm like, oh, I'm not supporting it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was good. So I'm with you on that IPA thing there. Ugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, IPA is
Well,
just.
that's what I said. I think this was the first GalacticCon I stayed sober since number 2.
Sorry, Mike, I let you down. I didn't drink enough with you.
Well, it's because I was driving. So
It's because we're old, Mike,
yeah.
and we would have never recovered in time to do anything the next day, and your wife
Oh,
would have kicked your ass.
I think I would have, but what happened was my wife booked a hotel and I didn't tell her what hotel we were staying at. So she booked Holiday Inn Express because she gets deals from her work through Holiday Inn Express.
So Mike had to drive back to the hotel.
Yeah.
So
I was not just parked and could just take an elevator up.
I'm old. I just don't drink that much anymore. So yeah.
And then so we had a Legends tournament with all the Legends guys, and I won that
Yes.
with Paul.
I get Sergeant Slaughter,
Orndorff.
and I lose in the first round. And Mike gets
Paul Orndorff.
Paul Orndorff and wins the whole damn thing.
I beat one of the really old timers. I think I beat Vader. I can't even remember who all I beat on the way there. I was like, oh, kicking ass. And Chad and Tim were happy that Paul Orndorff won because I guess there was a lot of work on his card, whether he should get a +2 or a +3 or 3 downs or
Yeah.
And their consensus was, see, he won the tournament with a +2 finisher. Didn't need the +3. So
and then we went in the ring for the Galactic Cup. I chose Raven from
Kronos.
Cronus.
Yeah.
And I made it to the finals with Raven against some very broken character and I've never seen before. Holy crap, is this guy broke?
He had to fight the Guardian, the
Oh,
good
okay.
Guardian, the glowing Guardian.
All right.
Jesus.
Yeah, which Eric, well, that was the funny thing. So like Eric won a tournament, TK won a tournament, Sam won a tournament, Sam Lovetak. We're like, who the heck? Wait a second, something's wrong with this year. Mike won a tournament. Like, hey, and
I win tournaments all the time.
Yeah, well, true. When you decide to be in them.
Yeah.
And then there were 2 online guys that were in it that they had folks there roll for them. And Kyle was one of the other ones. Kyle won. I can't remember what he won. And he took Vader. He picked Vader to go in to the big thing. But yeah, Andre again lost in the Galactic Cup. It's just like it's almost like don't even pick him. He's not going to win it. So, but yeah, the Guardian, the glowing Guardian is what Eric took to the finals. And Mike's like, how the hell? What? Yeah.
And it's funny because I got him down twice, and then I'm like,
yeah,
I couldn't, I got a 50-50 shot to roll that finisher. Nope.
Yeah, nope.
That's how I beat the other guys. Get them down to just 4, 5, 6, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good. Eric Kanicki won.
Yeah.
Did you bring any pizza for everybody?
No, we were giving him shit about that too. Oops, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, okay.
you just can't swear in the first 30 seconds of a video. After that,
okay, all right. So anything else? Yeah. Yeah, no, he was saying he's like, geez, he says if I would have tried to bring the wagon, I would have gotten like 5 miles and had to stop every 2 miles after that. And we're like, come on, Eric, next year.
Sounds
bring
like
it to Jamestown.
Excuses.
Yeah, like bring it to Jamestown.
But the one thing, probably about a month and a half ago, I talked about trying to finish off my coin set. Here it is here.
There it is.
Pete brought all the quarters I needed.
Wow.
And finished them off.
So we got a little jar for the things, you know. And so I did some searching and hunting and found the ones that we needed. So, yeah, I think Michael Brada, I think said he had one too, and I was like, I
Yeah,
got it, Mike.
Michael Broderick, he's like, I got Colorado for you. I'm like, Pete's already given me them all, but thanks, Mike.
Do you know how much that's worth now that it's complete?
Uh, $10,
$12.50.
$12.50.
But the board is worth something too.
Okay, $15.
Yeah, it was a long time in the making. It ended in 2008.
15 years later.
Now you gotta get all the territory ones that we've done.
I can't even see those. The writing on them is so small. Like I need a magnifying glass to be able to see what the heck they're talking about. So yeah,
we've really, you know, that I used to always grab the special quarters from Canada, but they release them so often now. Like I think I gave you one, Pete, where it's got the poppy in the middle.
Yep.
But they released a special $2 coin that glows in the dark.
Ooh. Gimmicks.
To me.
Yeah. And but yeah, after the con ended, you know, everybody was kind of leaving and going, and we're pumped that it's going to be in Jamestown next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know they're working to try to even get it the Friday there, because I guess it's a wedding place now.
Yes, the Sheldon House. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the school doesn't. I think the school actually sold it.
Yeah.
So it's now it's like used for a bed and breakfast or for like a wedding venue. And what Todd said, he goes, "Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than what it used to be." I'm like, well, I believe it. So,
well, that's something everybody said. You know, even if everybody threw in some money just to do night of the matches there,
night of the matches there, that'd be awesome. So
it'd be worth it. Everybody throws in 20 something dollars, and hey, whatever the cost is.
Yep. And I think that if the piano's still there and it has a sign that says "Don't put anything on this piano," that we just line up a whole bunch of drinks on the piano and take a picture.
And then have it back at the school.
Gene will be rolling over in his grave. Bastards. Yeah.
And after a while, the school started to grow on me because it had air conditioning.
Yes, that's a big plus, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked it there, and there was space to spread out.
Yes, yeah. That was the good thing about the room that we had at the convention center. There was a lot of room to spread out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
some of these places we've ended up at.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Philly ones.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that place was good. And yeah, if we get the school next year, if we're at the school, which I think is what the plan is, what they've talked about,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, then it'll be nice. So it'll be cool to go back up to Jamestown as well to see it
Mhm.
after what's been 5 years now. So
Yeah.
so
It should be good. First 25 there, and then back to this one. I know I'm talking to some of the early convention, like the guys who were at the first one, to try to get them to come back out.
Yeah.
So I'm working on some of those guys, just for old time's sake. And I was like, should I invite Myron Coleman?
Yes.
yes. I think he passed away, so the answer is no.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
I
Aw.
think so. I think he did pass away, but don't. I think so. I'm not
Okay,
positive.
because I looked him up on Facebook, and I wasn't sure on that.
I think so. Yeah, no. If Lori doesn't come, then I'm rolling through wherever the heck West Virginia is that Mark Ashby lives, and I'm going to kidnap him, just throw him in the back of the car.
I've talked to him, Mark. You know, I mentioned him. Hey, come on out, and he said he'd think about it, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm trying to get Paul Barnes and
Oh, you mean the guy that did Pantera Negro?
Tex
Yeah.
Remington.
and
And
Tex
him
Remington
too.
and the Power Creeper.
Yeah, and the Power Creeper. Yes,
did. He
which is
did.
really cool, by the way. Dig him. I got my copy.
Nice.
Very, very neat. Very, very neat. Yeah. So I do have to throw something out. So TK did his little car. TK did some giveaways. Atomic King, for those of you that don't know, if you haven't hit him up for his cards, hit him up. Those are the ones. Now the one that's right, that's the Rocket Club. That one is cool. The next one, That one is awesome as well. And the next one is the piece de resistance, Squish. Squish with wrestling stats,
Yep.
folks. I am telling you, he's not just spraying the water cannon anymore. He gets in the ring. So yeah, I was dying when I saw that. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
I
So
almost threw it away. I didn't see it in the
yeah,
envelope.
yeah,
And then Hope's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "Oh,
yeah,
what?" And I got
yeah.
real excited.
I don't even have that one. I'll have to.
So yeah, you didn't get that in your little packet.
No, I didn't get Squish.
Oh, because Squish the original they gave away at God, I can't remember what they did. It was like some Jersey Con or something like that.
Something like
And
that.
yeah, and he in the it was just to revive Plethador so that because that was the card that had the dehydration card.
Yeah.
And so when I say when he did, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So yeah, so that Squish card is great. There were a couple other ones. Is it Billy that did the other two? The two,
Yeah.
yeah,
I haven't gotten his yet. They're en route.
yeah, yeah. Billy did a couple of them that are really cool. Uh, an extension of Prodigy is what it looks like,
Hmm.
and a female version of Prodigy. And I'm trying to remember the other guy's name. I've on it. I don't have them in front of me, but
Began with
those
an
are
H, I
actually,
think.
yeah, I got it. Hang on, I do have it in front of me.
Halcyon.
So, yeah, yeah, Halcyon. So there's the rarity, which is the Prodigy's daughter, I think, and then here's Halcyon, which is the other one, which is
I'm a
he's
big
from
fan of that
Dimension
art.
X. Yeah, he's a Dimension X guy. So he's coming after Mr. Dentra.
That art's
So,
cool.
yeah. So and he did a card that has so it's like a card that has all the
Oh, that's a good night.
uh,
That's a good idea. That
uh
way you don't lose it.
yeah.
Keep it with the
So
cards.
which is cool. Yeah. And the other thing that was cool is if you yeah, Hexstar is his name on the board. HEX HEXXSTAR on the boards. And the other thing that was cool was Dayton Dave put together. I'm glad I
Oh
didn't put
yeah.
these away yet. These things are pretty neat. So they're little like foreign objects or um what is it? Just out of the ring action type stuff. And so like it's to add to the match. And so it's like you get if you got someone that wants to use a foreign object, you just pull one of the cards out, and on the back it tells you what that foreign object is, and
Oh,
then you can
cool.
figure out how they want to use it. And
That's
so
fun.
like this, instead of just like when you're out of the ring, and how the out of the ring chart just says, hey, you're whipped into the the steel post. Well,
Hmm.
this has got a little bit different. So it's like Irish rip into the barricade
Okay.
or something like DDT onto the concrete floor. So
Gives
they
you
kind of
gives you some flavor.
yeah, it gives you some flavor as to what it is versus just having the standard uh, uh, what it says on the chart. So if you don't have a great imagination, you
Like
can use some
me.
of these things to yeah. So yeah, it just tells you, like I said, chair, broom, bell.
So what I
Uh,
was gonna do with those is
there's
I was gonna write down like DDT on the concrete floor. I was gonna write add one to pin.
sure
Make pile drivers an add one. DDT might as well be an add one.
Hmm.
this one right there. Are we sure that's athletic tape? I don't know. It is, but it's going to be toilet paper. Because
That's
the
that's
first time I
what
saw it,
that's what I thought when you first pulled it up.
I was like, "Why does that look like toilet paper? What are they going to do with toilet paper?"
Hey, if it's dirty
But
toilet paper.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, Dayton Dave put these together. They're pretty neat little things.
It'd be a good
Um,
companion to his out of the ring
yeah,
chart he did last year.
yes, yeah. So yeah, they fit. They they would fit exactly with that, or just like I said, if you just want to expand your horizons for the normal out of the ring chart, they're pretty cool little add on that was there.
Simple.
So,
Simple.
yeah, yeah, real easy little thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated, folks. If you got an idea, it can be something as easy as that. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Good stuff. I'm glad to
yeah,
see bootlegs are starting to make a little bit of a comeback, and
yeah.
not just
So am I.
Legends ones.
Yes. So
So we need
yeah,
Death Knight 4 now.
no, that's not happening.
Or
Death Knight
or
6?
or Colonel Pete,
Colonel Pete back, yeah.
the
Yeah, we
man
need
in blue.
Colonel.
Someday.
Yeah, it's got to
Maybe.
be a heel turn because we already talked about this. Every wrestling colonel is
Yeah,
a heel.
yes. There's very. I don't know of any that are not. So so.
Okay, we can wrap this up.
All right. Well, thanks, Pete, for joining us. It's always a pleasure.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.
Sorry I missed you at GalacticCon.
Next year.
Next year, I mean, I could pretty much walk to Jamestown.
Just next time you end up on this side of Maryland and you don't want to hang out anymore with the kids, make a phone call.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Oh,
Believe me, I will.
Yeah, because by this time next year he'll have a third.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So it might just be,
Congratulations.
thank you. It might just be me and one of the kids next year. Bring one. I might bring Hope. She might be able to read by then, so she'll put her.
She probably won't stick phones in the microwave.
Yes, hopefully not, because it'll be mine.
It'll be yours. And it is Jamestown, so
Yeah,
you
they're
know.
probably not even. They don't have cell service there yet.
Oh,
Just
man.
kidding. Jamestown's a wonderful town.
It is. It is.
But we do have to rearrange like to where we can see the tarp skunks play.
Yes. Yeah. Well, if we're at the school, the stadium is right there by the school.
Yeah.
So
That's a new team. They're no longer the Jammers. They're the tarp skunks.
yes,
That's a much better name.
Tarp skunks. So yes, I think that gosh darn it, loud and obnoxious. What the hell's his real name?
Jack.
Jack.
Jack. I think Jack really just wants to come so that he can see the tarp skunks.
I want a Tarp Skunks hat.
That while we were here, you can't. If I couldn't find them online, like the
Really?
site doesn't sell them yet. Yeah, so we probably got to go there to get one anyway.
That's
so,
worth a trip right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, yeah. So we derailed the ending. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The ending's boring anyway. Nobody makes it this long.
He talks about to look here, push the button here. Yeah.
Click the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Even if you didn't like it, just click the thumbs up button. It's not going to hurt anything.
What's there not to like? You know?
Right. We had Pete. It's not Jeff.
Yeah.
While you're here, check out the links below. We have the official Filsinger Games podcast roll up, the Legends team's Uncharted Territory, Dizzy Dice from Lee Longpree, the Filsinger Games Fancast from Grant. Here on YouTube, we have Grant's solo promoter and Dave Little's Heartland Championship Wrestling. We talked about his cards a little bit ago. And after further review, and then over on Twitch, you've got myself and Matthew Butcher's Tagger Strike Painting. And I think I covered everything. If not, I'm sorry. But if you want to add your stuff to our links below, please shoot one of us a message and we'd be happy to include it for next time.
Well, here it is.
Talk about the stuff that nobody listens to.
Yeah.
The tarp skunks hat.
That's a cool hat.
You can order it online.
Are they selling it? Ah, okay. Because when we looked when Jack was here, we couldn't find it online.
Yeah,
so there you go.
I'm buying one of those for sure next year.
Yeah.
There better be a home game.
I've got the grape hat. I've got the bat, the thing when they were first the Jammers that looked like a flying bat, you know?
Yeah.
Bat.
The red
so I've
one,
got
right?
both of those. There's not a chance I'm not getting a skunk. So yeah.
That's a cool logo.
I have an orange Jammers t-shirt, and I have the
grape.
The grape hat.
Yeah.
The grape hat was pretty cool.
The grape hat is neat, yeah. So yeah.
Fun stuff. Something to look forward to.
Yeah. If nothing else, folks, tarp skunks.
Yes. Yes. I think we need to make a skunk bootleg. I mean, TK did one.
TK has one already. Yeah,
yes,
he does.
So he beat us to the punch.
Yeah, he beat it.
He needs to do a special edition tarp skunk version.
Yeah, I was gonna say, here you go. Yeah.
Put her in the jersey.
There you go.
Could be their official mascot.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again, Pete. Always nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Pete.
And we'll see you all next time.